Hi everyone, this is Galen Martling. Today I have a really pretty winter bird card and it has florals in it. I'm showcasing some stenciling and some wet embossing and Copic coloring today, and I'm slowing it down a bit. So for the stamping, I have the bird and sentiment from Unity Stamp Company. It is the October 2022 sentiment kit called Merriest Wishes Darling. I also have the die set. It's called Scallops and Squares Nesting Dies, and I'm using the Star Confetti Stencil, all by Unity. And so onto color cardstock, I'm going to stencil using Liquitex molding paste. And it is a gel, a thicker gel. You can also use something like Decofoil Metallics gel for this. I decided instead of adding foil or anything like that, I'm just going to use this white molding paste as is without any additional color because I want it to stand out white against that color cardstock. I'm using a sort of a gray cardstock, and the white is going to dry on there nicely. It will dry with a texture. You could feel it, once it dries. It's great. I'm going to go ahead and just use this and let it dry and be done with it. So then I have some temporary post-it tape or post-it note type tape that I use, and to stick that down and to fasten it in place while I'm stenciling. Just rub anything that might be off the edges, rub it away, and then leave it out to dry. Just leave it out for a half an hour or so. If you want to heat set it, you can do that. Just do it very carefully so it doesn't bubble up on you. And so that is, while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and color in this beautiful stamping with the bird using Copic markers. Now, you want to stamp with Copic friendly ink if you're going to use Copics, or stamp for whatever coloring medium you're going to use. Use the ink that corresponds with that coloring medium. And so for the Copics, I am using different shades there. I listed them here and I'll list them on my blog. And I just go about, I used a lot of the colors you see there, but not all of them. So I'm listing the ones I actually used here. So I just lay ones out I think I'm going to use, and then start from there. So I wanted some red flowers to kind of coordinate with that red background square panel that I cut. And I put the color there so it gives me a guide on kind of the tone of red. There's different shades. So I tried my best to make a variegated flower with that same bits of red in there. Now the leaves, instead of just doing a solid green, I just did more of a teal green. For all of the petals and leaves, I use at least two different corresponding shades of color for Copics. Try to slow it down, but I'm really just showing you a portion of what I'm coloring and then going on to the next section because it does take a little bit longer for all the detail to get done. So you just, like for the pine cones there, I use two shades of brown. Now onto the bird, I start with a light shade here and then kind of figure where I want the darker shades to be, and then I overlap the brown, the light tan there with some brown, and I want to pick up some areas that I want to be bolder for the bird. So don't be afraid of using your darker shades. Just use them sparingly, and use them to really pop any other colors that you might have, like the tan. So to me, the dark brown really pops, and I'll go back in and add lighter colors after that. So I don't know if this is a partridge, but I'm making it seem as if it's a partridge in a pear tree. But I know this is not a pear tree. But I wanted to make sort of a neutral bird, something like the colors of a partridge. I'm not sure what kind of bird it is, but we're going to think we're just going to imagine it's a partridge. So here we go. So I go ahead and finish with different accents, different shades of tan, and a little bit of rose in there to finish that bird. I use lots and lots of layers, and you just go until you're happy with it. And then I added a little light shade of teal in the marker shade all the way around the scene there. And I didn't do it exactly perfect. I sort of made a rough coloring around that. Then I go in to blend it out further with a 0 marker, which is a colorless blender, just to make it a little less perfect looking. And so for the background, right over that wet embossing, once it's dried, I just sort of place my square layers sort of in a wonky shape, and then place the sentiment right over that background. And you can see how nicely it looks all together. It's all finished. It'll fit nicely and easily into an envelope for Christmas card sending. Thanks so much for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share, and have a wonderful day.